Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and I am here with your SummerSlam review, and it's long overdue. And not only that, but I haven't even started watching Raw yet. Just came home. It was a long day at work. I went out to get a drink with a coworker, so gonna try to watch Raw on YouTube in a couple of minutes. But I haven't even reviewed SummerSlam yet. So what are my thoughts on this show? I praised the fuck out of NXT Takeover. It was a phenomenal show. But what do I think about SummerSlam? I think SummerSlam was another fucking great show. Maybe not as well rounded as NXT Takeover, but this was a pretty damn good show, and there were more matches on the card, and it was longer. I guess you have to take that into consideration. A 4 hour show, and for the most part I was pretty happy with the 4 hours I spent on it. So let's take a look. We open up with Jon Stewart and Mick Foley in the ring. Jon Stewart sounded really rehearsed, and so did Mick Foley, believe it or not. Both sounding really rehearsed, and both like they were reading right off of a script, and they sounded like goofballs. Uh, you know, Mick Foley saying that he's scared of Brock Lesnar, and it just didn't sound right. It didn't really sound like something Mick Foley would say, and it was an attempt at being funny, and it wasn't funny. And this kind of I thought was going to be a bad omen for the show, and thank God I was wrong about that. I looked at this and I thought to myself, how can a show like this be any good with a fucking opening like this? And I wasn't a big fan of Jon Stewart being the host, so it was a shitty little opening like this with the making a big deal about interviewing Brock Lesnar. Just I didn't like it. In the first match, you had Sheamus defeating Orton, and it was a nice surprise. Two bro kicks and a nice clean pin on Orton. But it makes me think a little bit what Stone Cold said. It's a good match and stuff, but Sheamus is a heel, and he didn't even cheat to win. Heels don't act like heels nowadays. They just act like normal wrestlers, just slightly meaner in promos. I don't really get the sense that Sheamus is a menacing heel who will do anything that it takes to win. He didn't use any foreign objects or anything, and I don't want to complain too much, though. It was a good match. It's just think about that there for a minute. Back in the day, you would never have a heel go over so cleanly like this unless it was a much lesser opponent. But fighting a guy like Orton, who I'm not a fan of, but still it's a top caliber wrestler, so you'd expect them to at least have to cheat to win. So I was a little bit surprised by that, but this is what you expect nowadays. I give the match 3 stars. I thought it was a pretty solid opener. It wasn't boring like hundreds of their previous matches. They seemed to have turned it up a bit because they were at SummerSlam, and they acted like they fucking cared for once. Then we had the Fatal 4-Way Tag match, and New Day won the belts. This was another good match. Nice, fast-paced match. Kind of reminded me of the WrestleMania pre-show tag match. I don't think it was as good as that one, but this was a really good tag match. And New Day was really entertaining. They were singing New York. Remember the song from Rihanna and Jay-Z? And it sounded hilarious. So great little pre-match promo, I guess you could say, and a good match. I also give this match 3 stars as well. A good match, a good tag match. Then you had Dolph Ziggler and Rusev going to a double count out. Now this is where the show started to fucking taper off for me. What a fucking lame, shitty ass finish this was. I mean, come on. not only that, but the match itself was fucking lazy as shit. I mean, they could have at least did something a bit more like interesting, something in this match. They finally changed Lana's appearance. She's no longer wearing the suits anymore, but her outfit's kind of similar. They just kind of changed the color, and instead of a business suit, it's like a jacket and a fucking shirt underneath them. I guess it's okay. I guess it's it wasn't really making sense for her to dress like that, and um, they changed it finally. But this fucking finish was fucking retarded. Why end it with a double count to continue the feud? Well, this is fucking SummerSlam, and I expect to have good finishes on the second most important show of the year, or according to them, as they were building it up when they foolishly said that some of these matches were too big for WrestleMania. I mean, SummerSlam's the big show now. This is the Super Bowl of wrestling, but a match like this could have easily been left off the card, and they could have, extended the time of another match, or just booked a different match entirely than this fucking shit was fucking garbage, or just at least book a better finish. How about that? Would it be too much to ask for a better fucking finish than this piece of shit one we got? Then you had Neville and Steve Amell defeating Stardust and Barrett, and y'all knew how I felt about this match going into it, and I was pleasantly surprised. Steve Amell did okay. He did a crossbody off the top. So slightly impressive for a non-wrestler, but it was really Neville who was the spotlight of this match, to be quite fucking honest. The crowd didn't even seem like they cared for fucking Steve Amell, just as I predicted, motherfuckers. Just because you enjoy a TV show doesn't mean that millions of other people enjoy it. The show doesn't get that high of ratings to justify an appearance by Steve Amell. And Neville was on fire in this fucking match. I'm giving it 2 stars, mostly based on Neville going fucking 100 miles per hour, trying to make up for the fact that, Amell doesn't really have a move set, so, he had to, do double the work, and Neville's fucking amazing. This man deserves better than this. Doing a fucking, basically his finisher off the second rope. Most people need to be on the top rope or even higher than that to get that many rotations in that he got in the air. So credit to fucking Neville for making this a decent match with his fucking amazing athleticism, and he is fucking amazing. Then you had Ryback defeating The Miz and The Big Show, and this was a way better match than I thought it was going to be. A nice 5-minute fast-paced match, though. I give this 2 1/4 stars. The Big Show does a fucking senton bomb off the second rope. I was like, what the fuck? As Michael Cole said, it wasn't exactly glamorous. It wasn't like Neville, but it was pretty cool to see the Big Show pulling off a move like that. I had been hearing rumors for years that the Big Show was capable of performing a moonsault, but we never got to see it. This time we got to see a senton from him, and not too bad. Then you had Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns defeating the Wyatts, and this was just an okay match. It could have been a lot better. It didn't really feel like a war. The fucking Brooklyn crowd that was, in my opinion, I think New York crowds are the best fucking crowds, but, people are going to go ahead and say that, their town's the best, but, it's New York crowds. Just fucking listen to them. They're hilarious. They were chanting Roman sleeping, because Roman Reigns was selling a move. I couldn't even remember what move was done to him. It wasn't even anything, that, impactful. And he stood outside the ring for, fucking 5 minutes selling a move like fucking overselling it, like just laying there like a fucking goofball, and it's off camera so nobody could even see it. What the fuck was the point of that? It was like he was fucking taking a nap outside. Fucking Roman Reigns, wake the fuck up, stop taking fucking NyQuil before your matches and get the fuck back in the ring, you fucking jobber. And it's quite clear it's not just the New York crowd, but no one still fucking likes Roman Reigns. What is there to like about Roman Reigns? No one gives a shit about him. It's time to stop trying with Roman Reigns already. You've tried for over a year now, and still nobody gives a fuck about him. Just end it already. Fuck off with Roman Reigns. Try somebody different, like Neville, for example. You know, guy like Neville is breaking his ass while Roman Reigns is fucking taking a nap on the outside. Or, you know, how about everybody else in this match, you know, fucking working their asses off, and Roman Reigns is taking a fucking nap. This match just wasn't clicking for me. I give it like 2 stars for effort, but, you know, just wasn't that good. Then you had Seth Rollins defeating John Cena. This was awesome. Seth Rollins was on fucking fire. This man was hit like fucking 53 different moves in the match. He was dressed in white like gold. I think that was what he was supposed to be. Fucking God or Jesus Christ or whatever, but he is a fucking God. And he is like fucking Jesus Christ in the fucking ring. This guy is fucking excellent. Yes, Seth Rollins' title reign has not been that great, but that's due to the booking of the shitty ass fucking company. It's not due to Seth Rollins and his amazing fucking talent. He is fucking incredible in that ring. He hit like 1,000 different fucking moves in this match. At the end, you had Jon Stewart coming in, and he was going back and forth between John Cena and Seth Rollins, and I was thinking to myself, did maybe Jon Stewart mess up there? You know, he thought like he was supposed to hit Cena, because remember the feud was between Rollins and like and Jon Stewart. Remember when he appeared on his show and he appeared on Raw, he was arguing with Rollins. So I don't really understand why the fuck, you know, they made like he was going back and forth with the chair, but whatever, you know, maybe that's what they intended. Don't know if it was like a little bit of a botch or not, but regardless, he fucking hit Cena with the chair. Fucking Rollins takes advantage and fucking wins the U.S. title. He's got 2 titles now. I say now unify them bastards and fucking make it, you know, just one title, you know, just so we have the Intercontinental title and the World title and the tag titles, and, you know, I'll be fucking happy with that. But praise the fucking Lord. Fucking Seth Rollins winning the title from that fucking glorified motherfucker, that fucking glorified jobber John Cena. It's not 16 times. I hope he never gets to 16 times. You know, I hope he never even gets close to 16 times ever again. John Cena fucking losing. You know, I don't care if some people are complaining about Jon Stewart being involved in the finish, and to this I say, who the fuck gives a fucking shit? It's, you know, it's Seth Rollins beating Cena when I originally was sure as shit that Cena was gonna win. So this was a nice surprise, and I am happy with the result. So fuck the haters. Fuck these people hating on Jon Stewart. It's good enough. I enjoyed the match, and Seth Rollins gave an A+ performance. So that's good enough for me. Up next you had Team PCP, as I like to call them. Fucking drug dealers defeated Team Bella and Team Bad. It was a pretty good, decent match. I guess you could say Team Bad was eliminated too early. Everybody was chanting for Sasha Banks, as they should. What a fucking amazing wrestler she is. I can't say that enough. I don't think it's getting worn out me saying how great she fucking is, because I can't stop talking her up. She's fucking incredible in that goddamn ring. And they're the first team eliminated. Go figure. Sasha Banks, first team eliminated. So you had Team Bella and Team PCP. But anyway, Becky Lynch gets the pin with a pump handle slam variation, the type finisher. It's good enough. It certainly did not come close to Bayley and Sasha Banks, not even in the same fucking dimension. Not even on the same fucking planet as that match. But, it was alright for what it was. 2.5 stars. The ladies tried. Then you had Owens versus Cesaro. And this did not steal the show as I was predicting it was, but it was a great fucking match. Another great fucking match. I give this 3.5 stars. Fucking phenomenal. Did I rate the Cena match? I was gonna give it 4 stars. I forgot if I did, but who the fuck gives a fuck? It's a good event, regardless. Good match. But Cesaro and Owens was another good match. Owens got the win as I predicted, because they're not gonna have fucking Owens lose another match, especially to Cesaro, who, by the way, Cesaro does deserve to fucking win, but they couldn't have that with Owens losing as much as he was. It would have looked pretty fucking bad if he lost. So, understandable. Someone had to lose, and that someone had to be Cesaro. So I was happy with this match. A lot of fucking great moves, a lot of great sequences and counters in this one. 3.5, possibly 3 3/4 stars. I don't fucking know. It was just a good match. That's the point with rating matches. Sometimes we get focused on the rating and forget that it's just a good match. And a good match is just a good match at the end of the day. Then in the main event, it was Undertaker defeating Brock Lesnar with a fucked up finish. Many people are also complaining about the finish to this match. But then again, a lot of people are saying that this whole fucking show sucked. And to those people, I say the same thing that Brock Lesnar said to The Undertaker. Nothing. Just this. So, Undertaker tapped out off camera. The ref didn't see it, but the timekeeper did. They ring the bell. I thought it was the Montreal Screwjob, the Brooklyn Screwjob, but they restarted the match, or continued the match, however you want to refer to it as. And Undertaker ended up putting on the Hell's Gate, and Brock Lesnar faded away while giving the middle finger, and that was a great image right there. I hope that goes down with Stone Cold and the Sharpshooter at WrestleMania 13, because that was a classic moment. I hope they don't let their PG rating get in the middle of that that great illustration, that great image of Brock slowly fading away while delivering one of these bad boys to Taker's face. Pretty obvious they're gonna have a rematch, probably at fucking WrestleMania, I would assume. Anyway, I give this match also 4 stars. I would say it's on par with the Cena match. Not as athletic as the Cena match. The Rollins Cena match. It should really just be the fucking Rollins match, because that's who made that match great, motherfuckers. But regardless, this was a good fucking fight, is what it was. It was a good brawl. It's hard to compare those two matches. They were completely different, but that was a good athletic match. This was a good brawl. And yeah. So I give this 4 stars. Overall, this was a great fucking pay-per-view. Not every match was amazing, but there were no bad matches. The only shitty-ass match was Ziggler and Rusev. Yeah, that was the only bad one, but everything else was excellent or decent. That was the only fucking jobber-ass match on this card that fucking sucked cock. Everything else was pretty fucking good. Or just, pretty fucking decent at least. So, all the things I said was gonna suck really didn't end up sucking. So yeah, pretty good fucking event. I give it the fucking 8.5 out of 10. I think that's what I gave NXT TakeOver. But yeah, I can't see really justifying a lower rating. The whole event overall was pretty good. And, you know, you had a lot of good matches on it. And for the most part, I was enjoying it myself. And, oh, I also have to mention the hilarious part in the Taker-Lesnar match before I go. The part where Lesnar started laughing. Taker sits up and he... I started fucking cracking up at that part. That was fucking phenomenal. Fucking amazing comedy. You know, and it looked awesome and it was hilarious. Anyway, you know, fucking great fucking pay-per-view, a great fucking NXT event, a great WWE pay-per-view back-to-back on back-to-back nights. So I am a happy fucking wrestling fan, motherfuckers. Great show.